This is how a file is stored in a Hadoop file system. The file will be broken down into blocks of fixed sizes. Hello, in this session we will talk about block structured file system. This is Hassan Mir from 0 2 protraining.com. In previous sessions we have talked about characteristics of a Hadoop file system, how it addresses the limitations of distributed file system, and also how it is not for any kind of application. It is only for those applications that deal with big data. Now we're going to move on with our study of Hadoop file system, and here we're going to talk about how a file is stored in Hadoop file system. As we will see later, you can define the size of the blocks, but all these blocks will be of equal and fixed size. To take advantage of Hadoop features, you would implement Hadoop on a cluster of computers. When you store a file, it will be broken down into blocks of fixed sizes, and each of this block will go into a computer on a cluster. So not necessarily all the blocks will go on the same computer. They will be spread across the cluster. In this context, each computer in a cluster is called data node. On which computer each block will go to, that would be a target computer, and target machines are selected randomly by the Hadoop software. So when you store a file using Hadoop file system, multiple computers are playing a role in storing that file, and this results into a big advantage. Very large file sizes could be stored using Hadoop. In fact, a file could be even larger than the capacity in a hard disk because it is broken down into blocks, and blocks are spread across the cluster. Block size in Hadoop file system is set to 64 megabyte by default. You can change that value. If you compare this size with the block sizes in other structured file system, you will notice that this is multiple times higher. In coming sessions we'll talk about how larger block size results into advantages. In short, it results into a faster streaming read because of this higher block size. In this simplistic view, we are assuming replication is set to 1, meaning only one copy of each block is stored. In the next session we will see how Hadoop takes advantage of the replication feature to offer hardware failure protection.